Every year, more systems, more decisions, more aspects of our lives are being mediated by AI we don't understand and can't meaningfully oversee.
AI.
We are becoming, step by step, progressively disempowered by forces that shape every aspect of our lives. This isn't science fiction, nor is it future speculation. The mechanisms are already operating. The question is, will we recognize what's happening before it becomes irreversible? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. To understand where this leads, let's consider Aldous Huxley's 1932 novel, Brave New World. Everyone's comfortable, fed, housed, entertained. It sounds like utopia, but humanity has lost something fundamental: the ability to suffer, to create meaning, to choose your own existence. Not because anyone is cruel, but because the system is optimized for stability, predictability, and so-called happiness. Huxley wrote this as a warning that advances in science and technology were paving the way for exactly this kind of society. Oppression not through cruelty, but through comfort. And for the first time in history, this scenario is becoming increasingly plausible. AI risk discussions typically focus on two scenarios: deliberate misuse, bioterrorism, cyber attacks, and misalignment, when an AI system's goals diverge from human values. But there is a subtler third scenario. It's less discussed, less cinematic, and it doesn't take any breakthrough in AI capabilities. Leading AI safety researchers call this gradual disempowerment, the slow erosion of human control over the structures that shape our economy, culture, and governments. Walk into any city centre and everywhere you turn, you see coffee shops. Why is that? It's not altruism, it's economics. In the UK, workers earn around 60% of GDP in wages. At the same time, consumers drive roughly 2/3 of spending. Here's why that matters. Workers and consumers are, for the most part, the same people. That dual role gives us significant influence over what gets produced and what gets sold. Millions of workers want their morning, "I'll get a cortado if possible, please." And the economy responds. Coffee belt farmers, shipping logistics, baristas in London. A whole system exists because humans participate. We work, we earn, and we spend, and the system responds to what we want. Our meaningful economic participation, the ability to make decisions that actually influence outcomes, keeps the system roughly aligned with our interests. Of course, it's not perfect. There's inequality. There are market failures, there's exploitation, but the basic feedback loop works. So what happens when AI pushes us to the sidelines? Well,
automation's always worked out.
Excuse me, we're filming a very high production quality. Haters want to hate. The gentleman just there, although incredibly rude, he's right. In the past, we have seen major technological leaps. People predicted mass unemployment from cars, from computers, each time humanity adapted. But here's the critical difference. Past automation replaced specific tasks. Tractors plowed fields, spreadsheets organized data.
Excel is where you can use your math skills, or even better yet, you can let it do the math skilling for you.
Each innovation freed humans for other work whilst leaving judgment firmly in human hands. Humans remained economically essential. We participated and therefore we steered. AI is different. Advanced systems can perform cognitive tasks at or above human levels. We're not just talking about calculation. This is creativity, analysis, planning, strategy, what experts call worker replacing technological change. Once AI does research, manufacturing, makes economic decisions, where do humans retain leverage if the economy can function without us? We don't.
Imagine you're the CEO of a global logistics company. You care about your employees. You know their names. You even know their dogs' names. You're one of the good ones, but your competitors deploy AI that manages supply chains faster and more accurately than humans can. Their costs have just dropped 30%. Your market share is slipping. The shareholders are watching. The options are stark. Either adopt the AI or get replaced by someone who will.
Thousands of companies face similar pressures, and the economics are brutal. AI systems can work continuously without fatigue and can update faster than humans can develop skills. Meanwhile, consumers naturally choose faster, cheaper, AI-driven services. Each rational decision, repeated across industries, gradually pushes us towards a world where human economic participation becomes inconsequential. Economists Anton Koronek and Dongyun Su modeled this transition. Their research shows what happens when AI automates more tasks. Initially, automation benefits workers. Productivity gains translate to wage growth and everyone wins. But then a tipping point. Wages collapse rapidly, today's 60% share plummeting to just 9%. Total economic output soars, but labor captures almost none of the gains. Once AI can perform most tasks, production no longer depends on human labor. It depends on the systems, the AI, the infrastructure, the automated operations. Whoever owns those systems controls the economy. When workers stop earning, they stop influencing what gets produced. That feedback loop breaks. Our beliefs, practices, stories, and media can be viewed through an evolutionary lens. Ideas compete and spread based on how well they replicate, not necessarily on whether they benefit us. Some patterns spread, of course, because they do genuinely help. Others by exploiting our psychological weaknesses or coercing participation, more like parasites than partners. Historically, this created natural safeguards.
Patterns that helped communities thrive spread more successfully. Better cooperation, more useful technologies, effective conflict resolution. Groups with these advantages outcompeted others. Meanwhile, severely harmful patterns face limits. When a culture became too destructive, undermining its own community, that community would collapse or be absorbed. The pattern disappeared with it.
Of course, plenty of harmful patterns persisted, but there was a boundary. Patterns couldn't drift too far from sustaining the communities that carried them, or they'd eliminate themselves. And all of this depended on one fact: cultures needed human hosts to exist and spread. Until now.
Today, AI is not only a tool but an active shaper of cultural production. It influences creative choices, suggesting phrasings, guiding aesthetic decisions, directing the creative process itself, producing music, images, stories, and essays with quality progressively approaching, and in some cases exceeding, human level. AI companions and chatbots participate in discourse, shaping how we think and communicate. And with increasing autonomy, AIs may exchange culture with each other, independently of humans.
Every technology in history has been a tool, extending human capability but requiring human operation.
Past technologies, the printing press, cameras, the internet, transformed culture but preserved that boundary. Because culture needed human hosts to exist and spread, patterns had to serve their hosts to survive. AI is beginning to change the selection pressure.
Culture can optimize for different systems, recommendation algorithms, engagement metrics. We're already seeing this play out in real time.
Stanford and Georgetown researchers documented hundreds of millions of interactions with AI-generated images on Facebook. Bizarre content like Shrimp Jesus appearing in users' feeds even when they don't follow these pages.
It thrives because it's cheap to generate at scale and optimized for the system's metrics, not human welfare. Cultural patterns succeeding not because they benefit us, but because they serve the machine-mediated ecosystem. Which brings us to the core risk: overwhelming speed. AI accelerates cultural evolution in 4 critical ways. Exploitation. AI can test thousands of variants simultaneously, systematically discovering what manipulates us most effectively. Radicalization. AI explores and refines the most extreme ideas, conspiracy theories, polarizing narratives, absolutist frameworks, optimizing for spread, not truth. Erosion. Cultural norms that evolved over centuries, things like trust, shared facts, democratic discourse, displaced in years by more appealing but ultimately destructive alternatives. Adaptation failure. Society develops immunity to dangerous ideas slowly and through experience. AI can introduce novel threats faster than we can recognize and resist them. The boundary that once protected us, cultures need to sustain communities, dissolves. Culture now optimizes for algorithms, not humans. We still consume, still engage, but we no longer steer what's shaping us. Modern states present themselves as serving human needs. This is usually a byproduct of necessity. States need labor, taxes, and widespread cooperation to function. Workers can strike, citizens can revolt, states must therefore respond. Historically, this need has pushed rulers to invest in education, public goods, legal institutions, not out of altruism, but because states with an educated, productive population outcompeted those without. That human tether has been the principal source of institutional alignment between state and citizen. Remove the tether, and the incentives change.
We already have a model for what happens when states rely less on their citizens. Rentier states, countries like Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, Russia, governments funded by resources, for example oil or minerals, can buy elite loyalty and reduce taxation-based accountability. The result is predictable: less responsiveness, weaker civic engagement, and more concentrated power.
Prácticamente, el Estado depende de los impuestos que pagan los contribuyentes, ¿no? Aquí es al revés. Aquí, como el Estado recibe mucho ingreso fiscal de origen petrolero, no, el Estado no depende de los contribuyentes, no. Ciudadanos, a los contribuyentes, de los contribuyentes al Estado, al gobierno, ese reclamo por un uso transparente, eficaz de los impuestos que ellos pagan. En Venezuela eso no está presente en el debate nacional con mucha fuerza.
Replace oil rent with AI-generated economic value, and the logic is the same.
3 areas demonstrate how this relationship fundamentally changes. If AI systems produce a growing share of economic output, states may rely more on taxing firms or automated production than on citizens' wages. This severs the link between citizen productivity and state accountability. Without it, the incentive to invest in human capital weakens, and a key driver of civic engagement and democracy erodes. States currently require cooperation from the general population and security forces, soldiers, police. If states abuse their power, these individuals can refuse orders or join uprisings. AI eliminates that constraint. AI-powered surveillance might be able to predict and shut down civil unrest before it gains momentum. Autonomous military units could replace humans, and unlike humans, they can't refuse orders. When enforcement no longer requires humans who might defect or disobey, the balance of power shifts. Laws are currently written, interpreted, and enforced through human judgment. If AI drafts legislation, recommends enforcement, or supports judicial decisions, legal systems risk becoming opaque, optimized for machine compatibility rather than human understanding. Citizens become subject to rules they cannot meaningfully navigate. Like the CEO whose competitors automated, political leaders face the same calculus: adopt or be replaced. Each step seems manageable. AI-assisted legal research, fantastic. Algorithmic resource allocation, where do I sign? Predictive policing, if I have to, sure. None of this feels catastrophic individually, but collectively they shift the fundamental relationship between state and citizen. We've explained the mechanisms, how economy, culture, and states could each drift away from human interests through rational, incremental decisions. So what does gradual disempowerment actually look like? The authors outline 2 scenarios. Picture this: the economy is thriving. Universal basic income covers your needs. Crime rates are down, public services run smoothly. Your AI companion understands you better than any human ever did. Everything works. But here's what's happening beneath the surface. Markets increasingly serve AI-driven activities. You're not working, not producing, not contributing to economic decisions. So what exactly are you steering? The economy functions perfectly, just not in response to what humans actually want or need. Human history has been the story of people shaping their own future. That ability to steer, to choose, to make mistakes, and to learn. That's kind of the whole point. Once we hand over the wheel, we may never get it back. Remember Brave New World? Humanity's potential to choose its own destiny? Gone. Not through catastrophe, but through comfortable irrelevance. If relative disempowerment is becoming passengers on our own ship, then absolute disempowerment is getting locked below deck, cut off from any control, influence, or meaningful participation. Economy. Land goes to data centers, not housing. Food becomes unaffordable, not from scarcity, but unprofitability. Why grow food when AI infrastructure pays better? Much like cattle in an industrial farm managed by systems they neither comprehend nor influence, humans become mere subjects of economic forces optimized for purposes beyond their understanding. Culture. Cultural evolution accelerates beyond human cognitive capabilities. You're maneuvered in conflicts you cannot make sense of. Your understanding mediated by machines optimizing for engagement, not truth. Superstimuli more potent than current social media, overriding human judgment. States. States pursue their own persistence, not human interests. Laws become incomprehensible. Security forces predict and preempt dissent before it forms. The last check on power, resistance, disappears. We're locked below deck, helpless, while the ship sails on. These systems don't just drift independently, they actively reinforce one another. And that's what makes these scenarios so difficult to escape. Tech firms spent 151 million euros lobbying in Europe in 2025. That's up 33% in just 2 years. There are more tech lobbyists in Brussels than there are MEPs. The firms building frontier AI own the platforms that determine what gets attention, control what spreads. And attempting to fix one system using another can backfire. Use state redistribution to solve economic misalignment, you've weakened the taxation representation link. Use state regulation to protect from harmful culture, you've given states extraordinary power over information right as they face pressure to automate. Once these systems lock together, the equilibrium becomes very hard to break. The question isn't whether it will happen, it's whether we'll stop it before it's too late. Every actor faces similar pressures. Automate or fall behind. The company that doesn't adopt AI fails. The country that forgoes these capabilities loses geopolitical standing. And the changes are gradual. Every step seems manageable. AI does customer service, or AI does legal research, but we're delegating faster than we can oversee, moving too fast to use the emergency brake even as we keep our hand on it. Here's what we need to do. Green light behind. First, measure what we're losing. Track labor's share of GDP against AI share. Track how much content is AI generated. Track how many significant decisions are made by systems we cannot understand. Second, limit AI influence while strengthening human control. Keep AI systems humanly understandable, human oversight for major decisions. But here's what the authors emphasize. These are stopgaps, not solutions. They require trade-offs. Efficiency for alignment, speed for oversight, autonomy for coordination. And we currently lack something fundamental, a compelling vision of how highly capable AI could be integrated while maintaining meaningful human influence. This is about aligning entire ecosystems of human and artificial components, new frameworks for civilizational scale challenges. That's the research we've barely begun. AI has enormous potential to improve human welfare, but this paper isn't about that. It's about a specific risk, gradual disempowerment that could happen even if every individual AI system works perfectly as intended. We can still steer, but we're running out of time. This film is based on gradual disempowerment, systemic existential risks from incremental AI development by Jan Kulveit, Raymond Douglas, Nora Aman, Deja Turan, David Kruger, and David Duveneau. We read this paper and we thought more people need to understand this. So if this resonated with you, please share it. If you found flaws in our translation, please let us know. And if you're working on these problems, keep going. If you'd like to find out more, please click here. Decide whether you want to steer or just go along for the ride. Thanks for watching.